Welcome to episode 2 of our series, where we bring you the most incredible stories from the history of empires. Today we will explore how Ashoka consolidated his power and established control over his vast empire. Make sure to watch till the end to find out what happened in the Battle of Kalinga. But before we start, don't forget to hit that like button, comment and subscribe so you never miss an upload. Episode 2, Consolidation of Power, the Iron Fist. Our last episode saw a violent accession to power. Amidst the chaos of fratricide and palace intrigue, a new emperor had risen, Ashoka. But the chronicles of ancient India tell us that his early years on the throne were far from easy. They highlight a ruler who was not just fierce, but also shrewd, methodical and determined. His focus was clear: consolidate the vast Mauryan Empire, secure its borders and establish his authority over the unruly provinces. Pockets of resistance against Mauryan rule still smoldered, and keeping them under control required a firm hand. Ancient texts like the Ashtadhyayi, Vamshavali and Puranas mention Ashoka's policy of neither showing leniency to enemies nor accepting defeat. Under the Mauryas, the army was not just a fighting force, it was an extension of the state, highly disciplined, well-organized and answerable to the emperor. According to Mauryan, a Greek historian who lived in the 2nd century BCE, the Mauryan army was one of the largest and most disciplined forces of its time. It boasted well-trained infantry and cavalry units and incorporated the use of war elephants, a tactic that proved to be highly effective. In fact, the use of war elephants is said to have been a key factor in the Mauryan army's victories. Realizing this, Ashoka invested heavily in strategic roads. These roads were not just for trade. They were arteries of communication that allowed for the quick movement of troops and officials. Messengers carrying vital information or orders could traverse the length and breadth of the empire with relative ease. In times of conflict, this proved invaluable. Ashoka could raise an army in one part of the empire and have it reinforce another within a matter of weeks. This efficiency was also aided by the standardization of weights and measures across the empire, which facilitated trade and administrative activities. The inclusion of elephants in battle formations added an element of surprise and brute force that was difficult for enemy forces to counter. These massive creatures were trained to execute commands with precision, trampling enemy formations or even serving as mounts for elite troops. From the Himalayas in the north to the Godavari River in the south, most of the major kingdoms had been subdued, yet one kingdom stood defiantly outside the pale of the Mauryan Empire: Kalinga. Located on the east coast of the subcontinent, Kalinga had managed to resist Ashoka's advances. Their survival was likely due to the natural barriers that protected them, dense forests and the mighty Godavari River forming formidable borders. But for how long? He refined the system of revenue collection, ensuring that the vast wealth generated by the empire was used efficiently to support its operations and welfare programs. He also emphasized the importance of justice. His edicts, which were inscribed on pillars. What are your thoughts on Ashoka's early reign? How do you view his methods and his ambitions? Do let us know in the comments section below. Your thoughts matter and we value your engagement. And if you've enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. We have more fascinating episodes lined up, each taking you deeper into the world of ancient empires. Also share this video with your friends, because history is best enjoyed when shared. And rocks across his empire often reiterated the need for fair and equitable treatment of all subjects. The application of the same laws to everyone, regardless of their social status, was a cornerstone of his rule. He established a strong judicial system, with officials trained to handle various legal matters, setting punishments for crimes ranging from theft to murder. Such was the strength and organization of the Mauryan army. It stood as a testament to the empire's power and played a crucial role in enforcing Ashoka's authority over his vast realm. This epithet wasn't just a nod to his military prowess, but also to his firm, sometimes ruthless approach to governance. To his subjects, he was a powerful, almost godlike figure who had the entire machinery of the state at his command. To his rivals, he was a relentless force to be reckoned with. The title stuck, becoming synonymous with Ashoka's rule. But despite the reputation of being a fearsome ruler, there were glimpses of the man behind the title. His edicts revealed personal growth, a shift in mindset that hinted at a ruler who, while firm and resolute, also cared for the well-being of his people. This was evident in his early years when he had to deal with several rebellions within his vast empire. From the western satraps to the eastern provinces, there were those who challenged Ashoka's authority, but each challenge was met with a swift and decisive response. Ashoka's early campaigns were focused on bringing the southern parts of the subcontinent under the Mauryan umbrella. Kingdoms such as the Cholas, Pandyas and Cheras, well aware of the Mauryan power, had managed to remain independent up until Ashoka's reign. However, their autonomy was short-lived. Starting from the Deccan Plateau, Ashoka extended his influence southward, incorporating these kingdoms into the Mauryan fold. The incorporation of these regions brought immense wealth and resources into the empire, further bolstering its strength. The trade routes in the south were some of the richest in the ancient world, and their integration opened up new avenues for economic prosperity. Ambassadors were sent to reason with those who could be swayed, while others faced the full force of Ashoka's military might. This strategy was effective. It projected an image of a powerful emperor who would not tolerate defiance within his domain. Unlike many contemporary states, the Mauryans had a highly centralized government with appointed officials directly responsible to the emperor. It was a system that had brought them great success, but also made them vulnerable when faced with internal and external threats. Ashoka understood this well. He knew that the first step to securing his position as emperor was to maintain this system. He needed to show his subjects that he was capable of providing the same level of governance that they had come to expect from the Mauryan Empire. But how exactly did he go about this task? Let's delve into the historical records and find out. Centralized Maurya administration. At the heart of the Mauryan Empire's success was its administration. Maintaining order, the task before Ashoka, was daunting, but also came with challenges. The imperial army. Speaking of military might, let's take a closer look at the tool that made it possible. The imperial army. Expansion in southern India, while consolidating his rule over existing territories, was essential. Expansionist tendencies were also important for the growth of the empire. Strategic roads. A key aspect of maintaining control over such vast distances was the ability to communicate and transport goods and troops quickly. Administrative policies and justice. In addition to infrastructure, Ashoka also paid close attention to the day-to-day functioning of the empire. Ashoka's reputation as Chandrashoka, with all these policies and achievements during his early reign, it's no wonder that Ashoka earned the title of Chandrashoka the Fierce. The last independent kingdom, Kalinga. Fast forward to the 8th year of Ashoka's reign, and a significant portion of the Indian subcontinent was under his control. Ashoka's gaze had turned towards Kalinga, and it seemed that no kingdom, no matter how fortified or resourceful, could stand against the might of the Mauryan Empire. And that brings us to the end of today's episode.